Welcome to OilOlive.com. As you know, Oreo olives don't mix, but the abstract thought of putting those two words together has enlightened me to create a channel to discuss various topics. You all, there is another perspective of fatherhood that I want to discuss with you all today. And that perspective is going to be fatherhood and mental health. Now, as we know, with fatherhood and mental health, I want to basically discuss the importance of mental health for fathers and ways in which fatherhood can impact mental health. And I'm going to just offer just some resources and advice to fathers who may be struggling with the mental health aspect of this. And this is not the end all be all, but just a perspective and trying to shed some positive and affirming information for fathers out there that may be experiencing any type of mental health, in terms of fatherhood and how those two can intersect. So we're going to be looking at 6 different points of this. So definitely, try to definitely stay tuned and everything because it's some really good information. But one of the first things that I want to talk about within this particular topic is becoming a father can be a significant life transition, which can bring about a lot of changes to a man's mental health. So, in that perspective, some men may experience um, anxiety. Some men may experience depression and other mental health challenges during this time. Now, it is definitely a very happy feeling being able to see the life that you help bring into this world. When men are just when it's just them, or if it's just them and their spouse, that lifestyle is different because you go from being single to then being to dating, then to being engaged, then to being married, and then you move to being married and having children. And once a child is brought into this world, people, it is a whole different change, and that's a major life transition right there. And it's a lot because you're now responsible. You share the responsibility of making sure that the life that you help bring into this world, you are now responsible for that. Nobody else but you. And that can definitely be a very deep part into the mental health aspect of the man during that time. Now, research has shown that fathers can experience what they call postpartum depression, and that is something that the mothers experience a lot of as well, but it's often linked to the changes in your sleep pattern, this linked to the changes in stress and hormonal shifts. So what happens is where you're so used to getting up and leaving and going and moving about as you pleasing, where you may used to wake up, you know, 10 or 11 o'clock in mid-afternoon. Once kids are into the mix, there's no more of that for an extended period of time. You have that time frame from when they're born to when they leave your residence. Changes happen. There's going to be things that you may not want to do, but those different changes are going to happen in your sleep pattern for sure. You may be more stressed, and the stress is going to have a couple of different, points to that. Some of it a little bit more extreme than others, but it's going to be different for most people. Now, this right here is this next point when it comes to fathers being less likely, fathers being less likely than mothers to seek the help for medical health challenges. That can be due to the stigma that's been placed on men because, they always say, or used to say, that men won't necessarily go to the doctor. Men won't go and get things, just take care of themselves the way the women would go and do it. But there's a sense of obligation to provide for their family, or the belief that seeking help is a sign of weakness, and it is not. And if you listen to one of my other previous videos where I brought up a point with the fatherhood tips and advice, one of the things in there was that the parents need their time apart. And that's how you can take care of the mental aspect, is being able to have some time to yourself, where you're able to get your mental health up and you're able to work on yourself for a short period of time, whether it may be you going to doing some relaxation type of technique, out and about, or you may go and take yourself out to eat or walk around a block, a bike, whatever it may be. But when you're doing that, those type of things, and providing for your mental health challenge, fathers, I'm telling you, it is not a sign of weakness. So don't let anyone put that into your head. You have to have that time apart. And that's definitely a conversation that you have to have with your spouse to make sure that you have that ability to do that. Now, it is important to recognize that mental health challenges can have a significant impact on the father's ability, the father's ability to parent effectively. So if you have a mental problem and you can't get over something, that's going to impact the way that you are trying to raise your children. So you definitely have to make sure that you seek the help as needed. But you need that help and support, because not only does it benefit your mental health, but it also benefits and improves the quality of your relationship with your wife and your relationship with your children. And see, we all talk about, you whenever you're talking about things, you have to talk about the good and you have to talk about the bad, but it's a certain way that you need to bring those up. And so, even if it's another man within your family that you can talk to, that's going to provide you some factual and truthful advice on fatherhood, that's going to be great. But you definitely need to talk to somebody who is definitely a father who understands, because they're going to be able to understand the different things. I can tell you from experience, is certain conversations that you can have with other fathers that you can't have with your friends who have never been fathers. It's a big difference in those type of conversations. So you have to make sure that you recognize that the more that, if you need help, reach out to a friend, reach out to someone you know who is a father, get them to help you, talk with them. Even if you're not opted going to a therapist to get help, but try and reach out to a friend. Because when you do that, you are going to improve the quality of your relationship, not only with your wife, but you're also going to improve it with your children as well. Now, fatherhood can also be a source of resilience and support for men's mental health. So when you're being involved and you're being a supportive father, that can provide a sense of purpose, because you're going to feel more meaning. You're going to feel that you can help build men. It's going to help you. It's going to really help you build that societal connection and a support network, because you're going to, as you're out and about with your children, you're connecting with them. You're connecting with your wife, and you are beginning to become that pillar in your community. You just don't become it overnight. It's a growing process that starts from the ground up. So as long you can start that difference, if you never had a father at home, you can start that trend. You can be there for your kids. They see that year around. You putting that, you becoming that pillar. Then as they grow older, you become a pillar in the community. Your kids may have friends that may come over and they may say, you know what, Mr. So and so, he always made sure that I was doing this, and that. And then as your kids grow older, they're going to see, okay, hey, my mother and father were in the same house. I want that when I grow up. So we definitely need to reinstill those values into society. Now, when you're looking at the overall perspective of this, the intersection of fatherhood and mental health is very important. It's a very important topic that's going to require ongoing, continuous attention and support. And we have to make sure that we're encouraging fathers to prioritize their mental health and seek the help when they need it, so it can benefit not only them, but it can benefit their children and families as well. So you all, thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope that you were able to take the information that you need from this. And I just want to definitely shed some light on fatherhood and mental health, and just basically going over the importance of what mental health is for fathers, and ways in which fatherhood can impact, not only them but their families, but just to kind of offer some resources and advice to fathers who may be struggling with the mental health aspect. Definitely like, listen, and subscribe to the channel. Your subscription and viewership of the videos really helps out the channel, and look forward to bringing more content to you soon.